We have Ethereum versus the dollar, and we have a very similar setup to Bitcoin. So as always, I want to relate these sort of setups in the same Bitcoin numbers as well. Basically, Bitcoin below 29.5, and I do confirm a local high. In this case, if you see Ethereum below, anywhere below like 2040, especially on like even an hourly closure, I'd say, and I would confirm this as a local high, which will confirm hidden bearish divergence alongside Bitcoin as well. And I imagine 6 hours stochastic momentum turns down below there as well. Yep, 2070 is going to be the natural number. Actually turns down if you just even close below, like here, basically. And at that point, I'd be looking for a move at minimum to 1950, probably short-term bounce there. And realistically, I'd probably be looking for this one to at least retrace down to the 618, which is another $100 lower or so. That's where the hopium, I think, would be if you're going to see a higher low somewhere right around here, and then do something like this if it ends up pushing on through, which I do still think is actually somewhat likely here. For Bitcoin, but that also implies the opposite of that as well. Any sort of a even medium-term time frame closure below about 1860, 1865, and I'll be looking for your lows to be retested at minimum. You're going to retrace very likely this whole wick that Ethereum put in last week, and maybe even make slightly new lows as well. If we go over here and we reference daily stochastic momentum, you'll notice it is still up as long as you're above 1840. So I do like that as a pivot for the short term, meaning that I'm not like super bearish on it until you really start to close below there. But, do understand sort of the implications of that, similar to Bitcoin. In the same way as Bitcoin, until you actually do confirm that, the short-term hopium is still alive here, and I would confirm continuation to new upside targets short-term with any sort of an hourly closure above basically your high of the day, 2170, with short-term targets up at minimum like 2230, and probably does just gun for a nice move towards 23 to maybe even 2400 or so. But for right now, this one's actually looking a little bit more short-term, sloppier than Bitcoin. So especially if you see Bitcoin pull that move, you're probably going to see Ethereum do the same thing as well, maybe a little bit weaker as well here. So hopefully that was helpful. Long-term, however, should still be aware that, this is heavy pressure down still on the weekly. As long as you're below 2800, momentum does remain to the downside. So I think at best you're going sideways in a higher term time frame range. At worst, obviously new lows, but 5 days, same thing, 2760. Daily, we already know that one. And 4 hour, yeah, it's going to turn down freshly below 2076. So, you got another closure in about just under 2 hours here. I'd keep an eye on that. 6 hour just closed and questionable. So yeah, I'll leave it right there, and hopefully that was helpful on Ethereum.